Hello everyone, I am here to tell you something special today. Do you know the fastest way to have less money? It is spending money to show people how much money you have. That is the fastest way to have less money. So welcome back to today's reading. Welcome back to my reading channel, to our reading channel. Because we are here to read together, to be a better version of ourselves together. So now, as you all know, the book we are reading is The Psychology of Money, and we are in chapter 9, which says, wealth is what you do not see. Wealth is what you don't see. So now reading on, let's dive into what the author has for us. Money has many ironies. Here is an important one. The wealth is what you don't see. My time as a valet was in dime mid 2000 in Los Angeles. One material appearance to precedence over everything but oxygen. If you see a Ferrari driving around, you might intuitively assume the owner of the car is rich, even if you are not paying much attention to them. But as I got to know some of these people, I realized that this wasn't always the case. Many were mediocre successes who spent a huge percentage of their paycheck on a car. I remember a fellow worker, Roger. He was about my age. I had no idea what Roger did, but he drove a Porsche, which was enough for people to draw assumptions. Then one day, Roger arrived in an old Honda. Same the next week and the next. What happened to your Porsche? I asked. I was repossessed after defaulting on his car loan. He said there was not a morsel of shame. He responded like he was telling me let's play in the game. Every assumption you might have had about him was wrong. Los Angeles is full of Rogers. Nigeria is also full of Rogers. Someone driving $100,000 car might be wealthy, but the only data point you have about their wealth is that they have 100,000 less than they did before they bought the car, or $100,000 more in debt. That's all you know about them. We tend to judge wealth by what we see because that's the information we have in front of us. We can't see people's bank accounts or brokerage statements. So we rely on outward appearances to gauge financial success. Cars, homes, Instagram photos. Modern capitalism makes helping people fake it until they make it a cherished industry. Modern capitalism makes helping people fake it until they make it a cherished industry. But the truth is that wealth is what you do not see. Wealth is what you don't see. What is the nice cars not purchased, the diamonds not bought, the watches not worn, the clothes forgone, and the first class upgrade declined. Wealth is financial assets that haven't yet been converted into the stuff you see. That's not how we think about wealth because you can't contextualize what you can see. Singer Rihanna nearly went bankrupt after overspending and sued her financial advisor. The advisor responded, was it really necessary to tell her that if you spend money on things, you will end up with those things and not the money? You can laugh and please do because I'm about to. But the answer is yes. People do need to be told that. When most people say they want to be a millionaire, what they might actually mean is, I'd like to spend $1 million. And that is literally the opposite of being a millionaire. Investor Bill Mann once wrote, there is no faster way to feel rich than to spend lots of money on really nice things. But the way to be rich is to spend the money you have and to not spend money you do not have. It's really that simple. It is excellent advice, but it may not go far enough. The only way to be wealthy is to not spend money that you do have. It's not just the only way to accumulate wealth, it is the very definition of wealth. We should be careful to define the differences between wealthy and rich. It's more than semantics. Not knowing the difference is a source of complex, poor money decisions. Rich is a current income, Rich is a current income. Someone driving $100,000 car is almost certainly rich because even if they purchase the car with debt, you need a certain level of income to afford the monthly payment. Same with those who live in big homes. It's not hard to spot rich people. They often go out of their way to make themselves known. But wealth is hidden. It's income, not spent. Wealth is an option not yet taken to buy something later. Its value lies in offering you options, flexibility, and growth to one day purchase more stuff than you could right now. Diet and exercise offer a useful analogy. Losing weight is notoriously hard, even among those putting in the work of vigorous exercise. In his book, The Body, Bill Bryson explains why. One study in America found that people overestimate the number of calories they burn in a workout by a factor of 4. And they also then consumed, on average, about twice as many calories as they had just burned off. The fact is, you can quickly undo a lot of exercise by eating a lot of food, and most of us do. Exercise is like being rich. You think, I did the work and now I deserve to treat myself to a big meal. Wealth is turning down that treat meal and actually burning net calories. It's hard and requires self control. But it creates a gap between what you could do and what you choose to do that accrues to you over time. The problem for many of us is that it is easy to find role models. It's harder to find wealthy ones because, by definition, their success is more hidden. There are, of course, wealthy people who also spend a lot of money on stuff. But even in those cases, what we see is their richness, not their wealth. We see the cars they choose to buy and perhaps the school they choose to send their kids to. We don't see the savings, retirement accounts, or investment portfolios. We see the homes they bought, not the homes they could have bought had they stretched themselves thin. The danger here is that I think most people deep down want to be wealthy. They want freedom and flexibility, which is what financial assets not yet spent can give you. But it is so ingrained in us that to have money is to spend money that we don't get to see the restraints it takes to actually be wealthy. And since we can see it, it's hard to learn about it. People are good at learning by imitation, but the hidden nature of wealth makes it hard to imitate others and learn from their ways. After he died, Ronald Reid became many people's financial role model. He was lionized in the media and cherished on social media, but he was nobody's financial role model while he was living because every penny of his wealth was hidden, even to those who knew him. Imagine how hard it would be to learn how to write if you couldn't read the work of great authors. Who would be your inspiration? Who would you admire? Whose now tricks and tips would you follow? It would make something that is already hard even harder. It is difficult to learn from what you can see, which helps explain why it's so hard for many to build wealth. The world is filled with people who look modest but are actually wealthy, and people who look rich who live at the razor edge of insolvency. Keep this in mind when quickly judging others' success and setting your own goals. So that's that about chapter 9. If wealth is what you don't spend, what good is it? Well, let me convince you to save money, which is our chapter 10. Save money. The only factor you can control generates one of the only things that matters. How wonderful. So now we are reading chapter 10. I hope you're following. Let me convince you to save money. It won't take long, but it's an odd task, isn't it? People need to be convinced to save money. My observation is yes, many do. Past a certain level of income fall into three groups: those who save, those who don't think they can save, and those who don't think they need to save. This is for the latter two. One, the first idea, simple but easy to overlook, is that building wealth has little to do with your income or investment results and lots to do with your saving rates. A quick story about the power of efficiency. In the 1970s, the world looked like it was running out of oil. The calculation wasn't hard. The global economy used a lot of oil. The global economy was growing. The amount of oil we could drill couldn't keep up. We didn't run out of oil, thank goodness, but that wasn't just because we found more oil or even got better at taking it out of the ground. The biggest reason we overcame the oil crisis is because we started building cars, factories, and homes that are more energy efficient than they used to be. The United States uses 60% less energy per dollar of GDP today than it did in 1950. The average miles per gallon of all vehicles on all roads has doubled since 1975. In 1989 Ford Taurus averaged 18.0 mpg. A 2019 Chevy Suburban, the world grew its energy wealth not by increasing the energy it had, but by decreasing the energy it needed. US oil and gas production has increased 65% and since 1975, while conservation and efficiency has more than doubled what we can do with that energy. So it is easy to see which mattered most. The important thing here is that finding more energy is largely out of our control and shrouded in uncertainty because it relies on a slippery mix of having the right geology, geography, weather, and geopolitics. But becoming more efficient with the energy we use is largely in our control. The decision to buy a lighter car or ride a bike is up to you and has a 100% chance of improving efficiency. Same is true with our money. Investment returns can make you rich, or whether an investing strategy will work and how long it will work for, and whether markets will cooperate is always in doubt. Results are shrouded in uncertainty. Personal savings and frugality, finance conservation and efficiency are part of the money equation that are more in your control and have a 100% chance of being as effective in the future as they are today. If you view building wealth as something that will require more money or big investment returns, you may become as pessimistic as the energy doomers were in 1970s. The path forward looks hard and out of control. If you view it as powered by your own frugality and efficiency, the destiny is clearer. Wealth is just the accumulated leftovers after you spend what you take in. Since you can build wealth without a high income, but have no chance of building wealth without a high savings rate, it is clear which one matters most. Is it possible to build wealth without a high income? Well, let's discuss it in the comment section. See you at our next reading. For now, let's just digest this, think about it, and see how we can apply it to our everyday life. So, take care of yourself, be good, and do good. Bye.